Welcome, guys and gals, back to the channel here at the Barry Charles Footy Show, your one-stop shop for everything rugby league. And what a bamboozle we have for you today. The Cronulla Sharks, yes, the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. Can they get back to premiership glory from the ET days and obviously 2016, I believe? I might have got that wrong, but somewhere around there when they won the grand final against the Storm. The Cronulla Sharks, can they go to the next level? They have lost a whole lot of experience here, folks. And that is going to be big, possibly trouble for 2024. They've lost Wade Graham, they've lost Matt Moylan, they've lost Connor Tracey. All experienced, all three are very versatile players. Can they really match up? Their signings haven't really been that great with the likes of Billy Burns and Adam Fanua-Blake for the following year. That's very good signings, but they really haven't signed anyone of great ilk for 2024. So the Sharkies, one of those teams that may go backwards in 2024. But anyway, we're going to look at their top 17 and see how that figures out for the Sharkies going forward into 2024. Yes, fullback, contentious. Everyone is saying Will Kennedy. I think if they want to win the premiership, I still think there's question marks whether he'd be fit for round one. But Cade Dykes, Adam Dykes, your son, from all accounts, could be a gun player. I'd put him in. You've got to do it. Sione Katoa and Ronald Mulatane are the wingers. They're absolute standouts there. And I think Kale Ero might get his start in the centres, with obviously Jesse Ramian leaving Talakai to move to the bench. Doesn't mean they won't, but they need to find some sort of attacking flair. Actually defensively, that's what they need to find. Whether he brings that defensively, I'm not sure, but they've got to find a defensive edge this season, the Cronulla Sharks. The attack has been beautiful, absolutely. Most of the time it's been great, but not against the big teams. And this is when Braden Trindle and Nicho Hynes need to do it. So Braden Trindle maybe needs to do a bit more of playing the number 7 role, and Nicho Hynes just roams around the field, does this thing. Because Nicho Hynes, when he's on the front foot, is one of the best players in the game. Very much Cody Walker, they're both in the same sort of ilk. When they're on the front foot, they're absolutely scintillating and absolutely nail everything. But when they're on the back foot and the pressure's on, to be honest, they both generally crumble. Cody Walker was on the front foot for New South Wales, and they won extensively. But when he's been on the back foot, he has struggled in other games as well. So that is the question mark with this team here is, can Nicho Hynes beat the top teams? That's what they've struggled with. They need to start beating these top teams if they want to go to the next level and be a premiership threat. The forward pack, I think Dale Finucane has to go the prop. I just think they need an alpha male in their team, and I think he'd have to be the alpha male there with Teddy Rudolph. I think he's just got to, for me, that's where I'd play him. Blake Brayley, he will be the number 9. Brenton Neokora and Teague Wilton being the part of it. And that allows Cameron McGuinness to play 13. I think that's what they need to do. Will Kennedy would be on the bench for me, but he clearly could be starting. Braden Hammond-Uwali, Royce Hunt to the prop rotation, and then Talakai being on the bench as a second rower, can play centre if need be. Oregon Kafusi, Tom Hazelton, Billy Burns. But the Sharkies look like a team that are really struggling for depth in 2024. And that's going to be a question going forward. If Nicho Hynes is out, have they got the players to replace? That'll be a big question mark. So what do I feel about the Sharkies? I just think Craig Fitzgibbon seems to be a pretty good coach. Now they're going to say, well, they haven't won a finals game. Well, that's true. It's very, very true. They just haven't been able to do it in the finals. He's going to have to find that. But he's clearly a good coach because they continue to make the finals. Now, his next thing is to go to the next level. And the team they got is solid, but it's just not, it just doesn't have that ilk of saying you can win the premiership. And why is that? It's the spine and the prop. Fanua Blake will solve that issue next season. That's one thing that they'll solve. But the question mark for me is they need someone that is going to help Nicho Hynes out and maybe be the number 7. Or Nicho Hynes needs to go to the next level against the best players and not go missing. And he already knows this himself. He has the talent to do it. But yeah, he's clearly very good on the front foot, but on the back foot is where he needs to improve. So yeah, Dale Finucane's going to have to be a key player for me. He's going to have, for me, should be playing the prop position, trying to be the alpha male there. Whoever plays, if they play Will Kennedy, he's solid, but I don't think he'll win you a premiership. I'm just being honest. He's a very good player. He's a solid player, but he's like that niche below Dylan Edwards sort of player. I think they might have to try and see if Kade Dykes is better than average and try and go that way because it's proven you need a gun fullback if you want to win the comp. Dylan Edwards, he might not be some people say he is the best fullback. He's definitely the most consistent. I'll give you that. Dylan Edwards is the most consistent now. Taking over their role of James Tedesco, who was the most consistent. Now Dylan Edwards is the most consistent. I wouldn't say he's the most talented, but he's the most consistent. So, Will Kennedy is consistent, but at a lower level than Dylan Edwards in terms of ability. So, but Will Kennedy can definitely get them to the finals, but I just don't know if he can, with Nicho Hynes, if they can take him to the next thing. So they wouldn't mind getting a Jerome Luai as well, if they had signed them. If he was going to the Sharkies, then I would say next season they have a chance of winning the comp. But without him, Trindle was going to have to go to another level. Kade Dykes, Will Kennedy, one of these players can Ero be the star? Can he be the new cab off the rank? Can they find someone else? Connor Tracey is a big loss for mine because I think he would be starting this season. Interesting move to let him go, but I can understand for Connor Tracey. Probably thought he wasn't going to get the game time, so that's why Connor Tracey's out the door. But yes, for me, the Sharkies are. I think with Craig Fitzgibbon, the way he coaches, they'll be a top 8 team, but I think they might they might finish similar to where they did this season. I think is where around about where they're going to finish. I think they'll be the 5 to 8 mark. Top 4 can easily be top 4 if Nicho Hynes plays week in, week out great. But that's debatable, and the rest of but they're potentially, but a few injury concerns, it could derail the Sharkies from being a big threat, and they could drop down the ladder a little bit. But anyway, that's the Cronulla Sharks. That's a preview of their season coming up. They are definitely a team that should be making the top 8. I don't see them winning it, but you never know if Nicho Hynes gets some help from some other players in terms of continuously against the better teams. Then maybe there is a chance for them to lift the trophy at the end of the year. But I don't see it happening. But you never know. There's going to be some team that's going to shock this competition in the series. And it'll be one of the teams I haven't picked at all. There's always going to be a team that surprises. Knights were one of those last season, even the Warriors as well. There's always going to be some team that surprises you. But yeah, to me, the Sharkies are going to be nice and solid again. Potentially top 4, but I just think they're lacking a little bit in a few key positions, which will probably drop them out of the top 4. But anyway, that's my thoughts. Next up is the Newcastle Knights. Yes, the Newcastle Knights, who ended up 5th in the end of the season, really come storming home with quite a few wins in a row. Was it a fairy tale? Is that are they gonna continue their rise up the ladder, or are they gonna go woo down the ladder in 2024? You'll find out right here at Barry Charles Footy Show. Have an awesome day out there, my friends.